Today we're making dumb people smart. So by the end of this video, I'm hoping that you have a basic understanding of how to run a chop saw to cut metal. Now, before we get into this, I do want to say that Evolution Power Tools did sponsor this video with their new model of the cold cut chop saw, which is the S14 MCS. I reached out to them. They did not reach out to me. The reason that I reached out to them is because I know how quality these tools are. I've bought some of their other tools in the past. They are just excellent. They are great quality and they love to think about all of the little details that other tool companies I've used haven't really thought about. So if you do any kind of welding or fabrication or are looking into getting into any kind of cutting of aluminum or steel, then this is a great tool for you. They also sent me this cutting table, which is awesome because it also doubles as a dolly, which allows you to easily carry this setup around with you. Whether you're throwing it into a work truck or you just want to be able to move it around in the shop for room, because like our shop, we don't have a ton of room in here, so we have to move things around. But it's also great if you do a lot of mobile work, which we also do. So we will be taking this onto job sites and making our lives a whole lot easier than using a grinder. So to start out, we're going to be talking about the least fun part about this, and that is safety. For safety equipment today, we are going to be using a face shield. You can use just glasses if you want, but I don't prefer that, as I like to protect my whole face from any flying debris, but that's personal preference. Also, personal preference is earmuffs or earplugs. You can use either. Today, I'm going to be using the earmuffs just to cover my whole ear. And then we have a face mask. You should be wearing this, as there can be particulates that come off as you're cutting and you can't really see them, but you would be breathing them. So I'm not going to be wearing this today so that I can talk to you guys, but I almost always wear this mask when I go to make a cut. And the other thing is gloves. So I'm going to be using my Tillman welding gloves today. But if you have some true fitted gloves, that is also great to use. And the reason we want to use gloves is because after we make the cut, the metal and material can be hot. So you just want to make sure you don't get burned. So gloves are a great idea. Now, before we get into cutting anything, I want to show you the saw and we will get set up so that we can safely make cuts. Just a disclaimer here, cutting with a chop saw is a dangerous activity without the proper knowledge, but you can do it safely, and especially cutting metal, it's a little bit different than cutting something soft like wood. Hopefully I can share some knowledge with you and you can start utilizing a chop saw to cut metal, which is more productive than using a grinder, for example. The first thing you need to know is how to release the saw. So you're going to push down a little bit, and normally on the side of a chop saw, you have a little pin right here and you want to pull that out, and this will allow the saw to go upward. Now on the right side of the saw, there is a handle to be able to adjust the saw forward and backwards. This allows us to adjust where the blade is landing when it's coming down. Normally you use this depending on the material, shape, and size that we are cutting. But for this basic video, we aren't going to be adjusting this. It is a good idea before you cut though to make sure that this is tightened down. Now, obviously we have our blade and then we have our blade guard, and as you're pulling this down, the blade guard will go up, allowing the blade to cut the material. At the top of the saw, you have the handle and the button, and there's a safety on this saw. So you'll have to push it over with your finger and then grip it, and this will allow you to activate the saw. Now I have a rule of thumb about this area. When I'm cutting and I am not ready, my fingers do not grip this part at all, because obviously we don't want the saw to just turn on out of the blue. The safety will prevent us from being able to squeeze the button without pressing in the safety. But just in case, as a rule of thumb on any chop saw, I just don't put my hands right here because I don't want to chop my hand off if my other hand is down here putting material into the saw. For the bottom part of the saw, we call this part the base, which is the flat part facing upward. And the back wall area, we call this the fence. Now, when we're cutting material, we always want to make sure that our material is touching the base and the fence. So that leads us into the next part, which is the clamps. Now, this saw in particular is awesome because it comes with clamps that you can easily adjust into any position. So you can just loosen it and adjust these based on the material thickness and width here. And we also have a vertical one to press down towards the base. The reason why we want to use clamps to hold it against the base and the fence is because the blade is going to be trying to pull the material out. And if we decide to lift the blade, this could throw the material away from the saw, and we don't want that to happen. So in order to make sure that that doesn't happen, we clamp it down. Now, if you have a saw that doesn't have as nice of features as this one, you could use some squeeze clamps to hold the material up against the fence. The main thing is we want to always strap down the material. This will keep us safe and anyone around us safe. Down here we have the angle plate so we can figure out what degrees we are at, and we do have an adjustment handle, and there's a little button right under here that you can't see because the safety bar is in the way. But you just push this button and we can adjust it to different degrees. So if we need to make a 45-degree angle cut, we can go that way, or maybe a 45-degree angle cut this way, or 15. But today we're just going to be cutting it at 0. This doesn't pertain to the saw itself, but what's nice about this table that Evolution offers is that it does have these stands, and this allows us to put longer length material onto the saw and still be able to support it distances out from the saw. So we could slide these out, or we can slide these up, and this will just give us some more stability on the saw itself. The clamps are already going to do most of the work, but this will just help keep down the vibration and keep the material up against the fence. One major thing that is important on this also is that you can't just use any blade. You need to use a steel or aluminum blade. The steel blade has less teeth, allowing for it to cut much quicker. You can see that on here. It says 80 teeth. But if you were using aluminum, it would be a higher teeth count. I believe it's 100 for Evolutions. You want to make sure that you use the right teeth count. That way it cuts properly. Another important note, if you are changing the blade, be sure that you have the saw unplugged. Do not change the blade with the saw plugged in. Just for any reason, this saw decides to go off, or you put your hand and you're not paying attention, you don't want to be able to activate the saw. Now, again, this saw has the safety feature, so you actually have to be paying attention to be able to squeeze the trigger on this. But a lot of chop saws I've used in the past haven't had this feature, so I just always double check I'm unplugged before I start touching the blade. Also, we want to make sure that it is tightened down, and what's nice about this saw is that it has a little bolt right here, and we can remove this and pull it up, and there's a little Allen key here to make sure the blade is tight on there. If you're just starting out with a brand new saw, or you haven't used a saw that you want to cut with, double check that the blade is on there tightly before you do any cutting, and that you have the proper blade. Now, one last thing before we get into cutting, it's a great practice to put down the saw and lock it when you are done using it and walk away from it. That way anybody around it doesn't actually nick themselves to the blade. Now, a few things that I think are good habits before you start cutting and you walk up to the saw, make sure that you are mentally prepared to cut. I try to clear my mind from any distractions and focus on just using this power tool, because obviously if you use this thing wrong, you can lose fingers, hands, you can get hit in the face. You just don't want to get injured with this. So we want to be safe. You're going to keep your hand like this, basically. That way you don't activate the saw when you're not trying to. To set up for the cut, we are going to pull the pin on the back of the saw and raise it up. And then we are going to move the clamps out of the way. Now today we're going to be cutting this square piece of steel tubing. And like I mentioned before, we have the steel blade on, not the aluminum blade. And so we're going to take it and we're going to put it up against the base and the fence. And then we are going to take the clamps and clamp it down against the fence and the base. Now, if you're using the squeeze clamps, you would squeeze this to the fence back here. But we're just going to take these and strap them down. And we want to have it pretty tight here. Now that we are ready to cut, let's take our saw and plug it in. We got to make sure we have all of our safety things on, our headphones, our face shield, and our gloves. Okay, so now we're ready to make the first cut. We're gonna put our hand off to the left, and we're gonna grab the handle without putting our fingers down in the trigger area. We're gonna pull the saw down a little bit, and we wanna let the blade speed up before we go through the cut. We're also gonna make sure we push down all the way through. Then we're gonna let the blade stop before we lift it up, so that way it doesn't kick back. So hand off to the left. We're gonna put our face shield down. All right, now we're ready to go. Squeeze the safety and the button. Let it fire up. We're gonna take it slow, but we don't want to lift. All right, let your hand off the button and let the blade stop all the way. You'll also get a feeling for how the saw cuts. So as you're doing it, let the blade do the work. You don't need to force your hand down, but we should also be prepared that if for some reason the blade kicks back or the piece kicks or anything, we still want to make sure we keep that downward pressure. And now the blade has stopped, we can let the saw up and you have completed your first cut. So we're gonna let this go. And we got a nice clean cut there. And it was fast, much faster than using a grinder. And it also made it like basically perfect all the way through the cut. So just for practice, we're gonna do another cut. So I'm gonna move the piece. You gotta loosen the clamps. Make sure you clamp it back down, up against the face and down on the base. All right, we're ready to go. Hand off to the left. Get a nice position with your feet. We're gonna grab the top of the saw, fingers out of the trigger area, fingers down in. Safety, squeeze the button, let the blade speed up, and push all the way through. Fingers off, let the blade slow down, and we can let it go up. Now that I've taught you the basics of using the chop and miter saw, I just want you to know that just take your time. And it can be nerve-wracking at first, but you'll get used to it. Just make sure you go through each of those steps every time you walk up to the saw. Be prepared, be clear-headed. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe. My goal for 2026 is to hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. I want to do some more advanced cutting videos. If you guys are interested in more content like this, let me know down below. Links to the chop saw and the table will also be below down in the description. Thank you for watching, and to get even smarter, see more of my videos.